Everybody's got dreams. Everybody talks big. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to change the world. And I'm not here to hate on your dream. But let's get one thing straight. Dreams are free. Discipline is going to cost you everything. See, you don't get what you want. You get what you work for. You get what you're willing to suffer for. You get what you're willing to stay locked in for when the hype dies out and the pain kicks in. Everybody's got that fire in January. Everybody wants it when it's exciting, when the mood is right, when the playlist is on. But let me ask you something. Where's that fire when you're tired? Where's that hunger when nobody's clapping? Where's that grind when it's just you, a cold room, and another set of reps? Don't tell me about your goals if your grind doesn't match. Don't show me a vision board if you can't wake up early. Don't talk to me about legacy if you're still negotiating with your excuses. Because everybody's got a dream, but the few who change the world, they've got something deeper. Discipline. Let me break it down. A dream will inspire you. Discipline will build you. A dream will make you feel good. Discipline will make you great. And most people, they never bridge that gap. They feel inspired, but never move. They plan, but never execute. They talk, but never train. Why? Because the moment dreaming stops being pretty and starts getting painful, they fold. Let me be real with you. Discipline is the line between who you are and who you're called to be. You say you want success. You say you want freedom. You say you want your kids to grow up watching a warrior, not a quitter. Then you better stop playing with your gift. You better stop begging motivation to save you and start commanding discipline to carry you. Because success don't come to the person who dreams the best. It comes to the one who grinds the hardest when it's hardest to grind. You don't rise by feelings. You rise by commitment. You don't get the throne because you showed up. You get it because you didn't quit when it hurt. You don't earn respect by dreaming. You earn it by dominating your routine when nobody's watching. So hear me. Everybody's got dreams, but dreams alone don't build empires. It's the man or woman who wakes up early, goes to war with their weakness, who denies comfort and chases clarity, who shows up day after day after day. That person. They turn dreams into domination. Your dream is just a preview, but discipline, that's the price of admission. So if you're serious, if you're done being average, if you're done living on potential, if you're done making excuses, then this is the moment you stop dreaming about it and start working for it. Discipline is louder than dreams, because when discipline speaks, the world has no choice but to listen. Let's clear something up right now. Motivation is a liar. Motivation tells you, wait until you feel ready. Wait until the time is perfect. Wait until you're inspired. Let me ask you something. Did your bills wait? Did your pain wait? Did life pause until you felt like grinding? No. So why are you waiting? Motivation is a drug. It feels good for a moment. Then it disappears. And that's the trap. Because you believed that feeling good was the signal to move. You thought you needed hype to be disciplined. You thought energy was required for execution. That's not how champions are built. You don't need motivation. You need a standard. Motivation says, let's go when I'm in the mood. Discipline says, let's go no matter the mood. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is spiritual because discipline doesn't care if you're tired. Discipline doesn't care if it's raining. Discipline doesn't ask for permission from your feelings. It just executes. You keep scrolling through motivational videos like the next one's gonna change your life. Let me tell you something. No speech will save you if you won't show up. No quote will fix your life if you keep waiting for a spark instead of building a system. Champions don't depend on motivation. They depend on commitment. They depend on consistency. They depend on routine. You know what's more powerful than motivation? Waking up every day and doing what must be done, even when you hate it. Think about it. The soldier doesn't wait to feel like going to war. The surgeon doesn't wait to feel like operating. The parent doesn't wait to feel like showing up for their kids. So why are you waiting to feel like grinding? You are not your feelings. You are your actions. That's the difference between the dreamers and the doers. The dreamers talk when they feel inspired. The doers build when they feel nothing. Motivation is for the beginning. Discipline is for the journey. And execution is for the finish line. So I need you to kill that lie right now. The one that says, wait until you're motivated. Because here's the truth. If you can only move when you're hyped, you'll never build anything that lasts. You'll always be a slave to your emotions. You'll always be a prisoner of your feelings. But the greats, they built empires on days they didn't feel like showing up. They trained when it was boring. They created momentum when there was none. Let me hit you with this. You don't have to feel like it to do it. You don't need energy. You need intention. You don't need to wait. You need to move. Because the discipline to show up when it's hard, that's the difference between potential and power. That's what separates the crowd from the king. So here's your new mindset. You don't chase motivation. You create momentum. You don't wait for inspiration. You make it impossible to lose by locking in a system. The world is full of people who felt like doing something great, but they never did because they thought the feeling had to come first. Not you, not anymore. You're building without applause. You're grinding without hype. You're moving without feelings because you're disciplined. And that voice in your head that says, I'll do it tomorrow, tell it this: we don't wait, we work. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do beast things. Everybody wants to rise until they realize the path is boring. Let me tell you something real. Champions aren't built in the spotlight. They're built in the shadows, doing the same boring, painful, repetitive reps over and over and over again. You want success? You want discipline? You want legacy? Then you better fall in love with the mundane. You better lock in on the stuff nobody claps for, because it's not the big moments that shape your future. It's the boring ones you keep showing up for. The boring reps, they bait the beast. The lonely grind, it creates the king. The unseen hours, they forge the unshakable. You think Kobe became Kobe on game night? No, he became Kobe in an empty gym. Hundreds of jump shots, thousands of free throws, hours of sweat when nobody was watching. And that's what most people will never understand. The magic is in the monotony. You want to master your craft? Then master the repetition. You want to lead? Then do the work no one else wants to do. Again and again and again. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not fireworks and viral moments. It's quiet. It's repetitive. It's brutal. And that's why most people won't make it. Because they chase the rush. But discipline chases the routine. Let me ask you something. Can you wake up early when there's no audience? Can you train hard when you feel nothing? Can you do the same work again today, even though you already did it yesterday? Because that's what separates beasts from boys. One is moved by emotions. The other is moved by standards. This is where champions are made. In the early mornings, in the quiet hours, in the no applause, no motivation, no comfort zone. Everybody wants the results. Few can handle the repetition. Everybody wants the glow up. Few want the grind down. But you're not here for attention. You're here to build something real. And real empires, they're built with boring bricks. You think greatness happens in leaps? Nah, it happens in inches. Tiny choices, tiny disciplines, tiny wins stacked daily. And one day, you look back and realize. That morning, you almost skipped the gym. That night, you wanted to slack on your routine. That week, you felt tired but still pushed through. Those were the days that built you. Those were the reps that made the difference. So let me challenge you. Get addicted to the boring, because the grind that feels pointless today becomes the greatness everyone praises tomorrow. And when they ask how you did it, you'll smile and say, I never skipped the reps that didn't get attention. This is your moment. Not to feel like a beast, but to become one through brutal consistency. The boring reps build the beast. And the beast? He don't need applause. He don't need hype. He just needs another rep. You keep waiting for discipline to show up, like it's a guest that knocks when it's convenient. Let me wake you up. Discipline isn't something you find. It's something you build. It's not a mood. It's a muscle. And just like a muscle, it grows through resistance. You want mental strength? Then stop asking for things to get easier. Start getting stronger. Every time you feel like quitting, but choose to keep going, that's another rep. Every time you ignore distractions and stay locked in, that's another rep. Every time you silence the voice that says you deserve a break, that's another rep. That's how discipline grows, not in comfort, but in conflict. You don't need more motivation. You need more reps. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You need consistency when life is messy. You don't need the stars to align. You need the will to rise, even when everything in you screams, stay down. Because discipline isn't born from convenience. It's born from commitment. Let me tell you something. Every time you skip your commitment because you don't feel it, you weaken the muscle. Every time you give in to the excuse, you shrink the mindset. But every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you add weight to your willpower. You sharpen your edge. That's how champions are made, not through passion, but through pain and practice. Think of it like this. The gym is easy when you're hyped. The diet is easy when you're inspired. The grind is easy when you're seeing progress. But can you stick to it when it's hard? When it's invisible? When nobody's clapping? Because that's the test of a true builder. Can you train when it's boring? Can you grow when it hurts? Discipline is the quiet voice in your head that says, we keep going. We do what we said we do. We finish. And if you train it daily, just like a muscle, it gets stronger. So when life punches you in the face, when the distractions hit, when the feelings fade, you don't fold. You flex. Stop trying to feel disciplined. Be disciplined. You'll never rise by being ruled by moods. You'll only rise when you become a master of repetition. Because at the end of the day, P.S., feelings fade, energy dies. But discipline, that lives on. Here's your truth. You can't control every situation, but you can control what you show up for. So show up for the hard stuff. Show up for the unsexy work. Show up for the days where it's all falling apart. Because that's where the muscle gets built. Every I don't want to that turns into I did it anyway, that's the rep. That's the growth. That's the victory. So don't ask yourself, do I feel like it today? Ask yourself, what kind of beast am I becoming today? The dream isn't waiting on a feeling. It's waiting on your next rep. Train the muscle. Forget the mood. You're not tired. You're just used to quitting. You're not too busy. You're just undisciplined. You're not lacking time. You're wasting it with excuses. And every single one of those excuses is robbing you, robbing your future, robbing your greatness, robbing the version of you that was born to win. Let's stop sugarcoating it. Excuses sound smart. They sound logical. They feel justified. But every excuse you entertain is just a chain around your progress. Excuses are comfortable lies you keep telling yourself, so you don't have to face uncomfortable truth. But here's the hard truth. Nobody ever built a legacy on I almost started. Nobody remembers the man who almost woke up early. No one's inspired by the woman who almost chased her dream. Let me make it plain. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, your dream gets smaller. Every time you say, I'm too tired, your potential dims. Every time you say, it's not the right time, your fire dies a little more. Excuses don't protect your dream. They murder it slowly. And the worst part, you think you're getting away with it. You think no one knows. But you know. Your spirit knows. Your soul feels it. You know deep down, you're capable of more. You're called to more. But you've been playing small because you got good at making it sound okay. I'm too busy, but you had time for Netflix. I'm too tired, but you scrolled for 2 hours. I'll start next week. You said that last month. And the month before that. Stop it. You don't have an excuse problem. You have a priority problem. Let me be clear. The more you feed your excuses, the more you starve your future. And the truth is, you're not in a fight with the world. You're in a fight with your own patterns. Excuses are your enemy. Not time, not talent, not circumstances. Just the lie you keep believing that you've got more time to waste. You say you want it bad, then prove it. Wake up when it's hard. Show up when it's inconvenient. Sacrifice when no one's clapping. Grind when nobody believes in you. Because that's what discipline is. It's not about motivation. It's about refusing to bow to the voice of excuses. Let's flip the script. Every time an excuse shows up, shut it down. I'm too tired. Say, and I'm doing it anyway. I'll do it tomorrow. Say, tomorrow isn't promised. I'm not ready. Say, nobody ever is. This is the mindset of winners. They feel the same excuses, but they don't obey them. You've got to get to a place where your discipline is so strong that excuses get drowned out by action. You've got to want the future so badly that even your strongest excuse feels insulting to your vision. Because excuses are for the weak. And you were never built to be average. Say this to yourself daily. I will not be defined by my comfort. I will not settle for excuses. I will not just chasing a dream. I'm building a legacy. And legacy doesn't answer to laziness. It answers to discipline. Let today be the day you stop handing your future away, one excuse at a time. Let today be the day you rise, not because it's easy, but because you finally had enough of letting excuses run your life. No more distractions, no more delays, no more lies. It's you versus your excuses now, and it's time to win. Let me ask you something real. Would your future be proud of the choices you're making right now? Not your followers, not your friends, your future. Would the version of you 5 years from now look back and say, that's the season where I rose? Or would they say, that's the moment I gave in to comfort and called it balance? Because whether you realize it or not, you're creating your future every single day. And every decision, every discipline, every delay, it's either building it or breaking it. You keep saying you want more, but your habits look like less. You keep saying you want the throne, but your grind still looks like you're guarding a couch. You keep saying someday, but someday ain't on the calendar. And the truth is simple. Your future can't survive off the version of you that keeps quitting. The version of you that wins, they don't complain, they don't compromise, they don't coast, they conquer every single day, even when no one is watching, even when it hurts, because they understand this. You don't rise to the level of your potential, you fall to the level of your preparation. Look, the dream you're chasing, it doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to work. It doesn't care how inspired you are, it cares how intentional you are. So stop praying for a better future while refusing to become a better version of you. Your dream is waiting on your transformation, not your talk. Let me make this plain. The life you want requires a mindset you've never had. The freedom you crave demands a level of discipline you keep avoiding. The greatness you talk about, it's only unlocked by the next version of you, not the current one. You've got to kill the old you, the lazy you, the excuse-making you, the I'll start next week you, because the future you deserves more. It deserves the warrior version of you, the focused, disciplined, locked-in beast version of you, the one who doesn't negotiate with weakness, the one who doesn't back down when it gets hard, the one who shows up especially when it's hard. You've got to move like your life depends on it, because it does. Your destiny is not waiting on a miracle. It's waiting on your decision, the decision to evolve, the decision to upgrade, the decision to finally live like your future is watching, because it is. Every time you hit snooze, you just told your future it doesn't matter. Every time you skip the work, you just told your legacy it can wait. Every time you settle for comfort, you rob the next version of you from ever meeting their greatness. Enough is enough. It's time to match your grind to your goals. It's time to move like your children are counting on you. It's time to show up like your name deserves to be remembered. Because truth is, if you don't change now, nothing will change later. If you don't evolve, you'll repeat. If you don't level up, you'll fall back into the same patterns that keep you broke, broken, and bitter. And that's not your story. You weren't born for average. You weren't built to stay stuck. You weren't designed for regret. You were born to build, to grow, to dominate. So here's the mission. Outgrow your distractions, outtrain your excuses, outdiscipline your doubts, because your future is not built in some distant one day. It's built in this day, in this decision, in this moment. And if you want the life they'll remember, you've got to become the version of you worth remembering. Everybody's got a dream. You've got one, your friend's got one. That guy on Instagram screaming motivation at his phone, he's got one too. But let me ask you something deeper. How many actually have the discipline to back it up? How many actually show up when it's hard? How many keep going when the dream stops being exciting and starts demanding sacrifice? Because dreams don't move mountains, discipline does. You say you want success, but are you willing to suffer for it? You say you want to build something great, but are you willing to be consistent when it's boring, when it's lonely, when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping? Because that's the difference. Dreamers fantasize, disciples of discipline materialize. Listen, your dream is not the problem. Your passion is not the issue. Your desire is real, but what's missing is your daily action, your consistent grind, your non-negotiable routine, your quiet commitment when the crowd disappears. That's what builds legacies. That's what separates wishers from winners. You can vision board it all day. You can scream affirmations until your throat dries out. But if you're not putting in the work, you're not building. You're pretending. Let's be clear. Dreams are the seed. Discipline is the soil, the sun, the water, and the sweat. Without discipline, your dream dies in imagination. Everybody wants the reward. Nobody wants the routine. But the routine is the road. And that's why so few ever make it. Because when the feelings fade, they fold. You want the dream? You better marry the discipline. Because the grind don't care how you feel. The real ones, they wake up tired and still show up. They feel doubt and still move forward. They hear the voice of excuses and drown it in action. Because here's the truth. Motivation fades. Inspiration disappears. But discipline remains. Discipline is showing up when it's not exciting. It's sacrificing sleep for strategy. It's showing up broke, showing up frustrated, showing up uncertain, and still showing up. Because that's what winners do. Stop thinking life owes you something for dreaming big. It doesn't. Life pays those who stay consistent. Legacy rewards those who master repetition. Discipline doesn't make noise, but it builds empires. You want to be remembered? Then do the boring work relentlessly. Do the unseen reps. Make the hard calls. Say no to the distractions that others celebrate. Because the dream doesn't come to the loudest. It comes to the most locked in. Let me ask you this. Are you dreaming more than you're doing? Are you chasing emotions or executing decisions? The crown doesn't go to the one who screams the loudest. It goes to the one who worked while the rest were watching. So here's what you need to do. Build discipline like your life depends on it, because it does. Choose routine over rush. Choose growth over comfort. Choose legacy over laziness. And stop waiting to feel like doing it. You don't feel discipline. You choose it. Every single day. Let your actions talk. Let your grind speak for you. Let your consistency shout louder than your captions. Because one disciplined step every day will take you farther than 1,000 emotional highs. Let the dream fuel you. Let the discipline shape you. Because when it's all said and done, the dream will inspire them. But your discipline, that's what will change their lives. You've come too far to be forgotten. You've been through too much to play small now. You sacrificed. You suffered. You stayed silent while others slept. Now, it's time to become the version they'll never forget. Let me tell you something about legacy. It's not about being loud. It's about lasting. It's not about going viral. It's about going the distance. You don't build legacy with moments. You build it with consistency, with fire in your soul and discipline in your bones. Because one day, the world will ask, who were you when it counted? Who were you when it got hard? Who were you when no one believed in you? And the answer won't be in your words. It'll be in your work. This version of you, this relentless, locked-in, laser-focused version, that's who they'll remember. Not the one who talked about doing it, not the one who almost did it, but the one who actually became it. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to be liked. You are here to build something bigger than yourself. You are here to break curses, to rewrite stories, to raise a standard for every generation that follows you. You are the one who decided enough is enough. You are the one who trained while they slept. You are the one who turned pain into power. That version of you, the disciplined, the driven, the unshakable, that's the one who gets remembered. That's the one who becomes the example. That's the one whose name echoes after the work is done. But hear me loud and clear. That version of you doesn't appear by accident. It doesn't rise out of comfort. It's not born out of convenience. It's carved through discipline, through sacrifice, through showing up when you have every reason not to. You've cried for this. You've bled for this. You've buried old versions of yourself for this. So don't stop now. Don't let the old voices pull you back. Don't let weakness rewrite your story. Don't let fear water down your fire. You owe too much to the future. You've come too far to fold now. Look around. Most people gave up. Most people settled. Most people talked about greatness, but never walked it. You're different. You didn't come this far for a participation trophy. You didn't survive the valley just to sit in the shadows. You came for impact. You came for legacy. You came to make discipline louder than dreams and purpose louder than pain. So here's how we finish. You show up like it's your last chance. You grind like your name depends on it. You move like generations are watching, because they are. You kill excuses. You crush distractions. And you become the version they'll remember. When they talk about your name, let them say you never quit. Let them say you moved with purpose. Let them say your life was proof that discipline builds empires. And most of all, let them say, that one, yeah, they died with discipline, not regret. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not next week, right now, right here. You. This is the version they'll remember.